Some of the names in Scripture can be confusing. Israel in Genesis chapter 48 is also Jacob. Jacob, one of the great saints in the Old Testament, made some mistakes along the way, but Jacob, and so he's also called Israel. This is Joseph's daddy. Don't you worry about the baby. I told y'all when I was here in January, I love the sound of babies in church. And when people don't and give mamas or dads dirty looks, I always pray they'll get hives, because babies should be celebrated in church. Part of it is becoming a mom late in life, but don't worry one bit about the baby. I have a little bit of ADD anyway. When Israel / Jacob saw Joe's sons, he said, "Who are these?" Joseph said to his dad, "These are my sons, Dad, whom God has given me here." And he said, "Bring them to me, please, that I may bless them." Now the eyes of Israel / Jacob, you still with me? Remember his son Joseph that has the coat from Benetton, all the many colors coat. Jacob's one of the patriarchs. Joseph, his brothers got jealous and they threw him in a pit, and then he was sold into slavery. And then remember, Pharaoh's wife tatted on him about something that wasn't true because she made a pass at him and he didn't text her back, and so she lied, and then he got thrown in prison. Y'all remember the story? So Joseph, who because of his integrity ended up becoming the number 2 guy in all of Egypt, God reconciled him to his family. Joseph is now coming back home from Egypt. He's a grown man. He has 2 sons of his own. His daddy, Jacob, his eyes are dim with age, said, "Who are these kids you're bringing into my house? I can tell they're boys because I can smell them from here." My nephew lived with us for a while, and he moved in when he was 19, and I was like, my goodness, he smells different than Missy. Just a beautiful, beautiful smell you boys have after you play basketball. Now the eyes of Israel were dim with age, so that he could not see. So Joseph brought them near him, and he kissed them and embraced them. And Israel, Jacob, said to Joseph, "I never expected to see your face. And behold, God has let me see your offspring also." Then Joseph removed them from his knees, and he bowed himself with his face to the earth. And Joseph took them both, Ephraim in his right hand toward Israel's left hand, and Manasseh in his left hand toward Israel's right hand, and brought them near him. And Israel stretched out his right hand and laid it on the head of Ephraim, who is the younger, and his left hand on the head of Manasseh, crossing his hands, for Manasseh was the firstborn. And he blessed them and said, "The God before whom my fathers Abraham and Isaac walked, the God who has been my shepherd all my life to this day, the angel who has redeemed me from all evil, bless these boys. And in them let my name be carried on in the name of my fathers Abraham and Isaac, and let them grow into a multitude in the midst of the earth." When Joe saw that his dad laid his right hand on the head of Ephraim, it displeased him, and he took his father's hand and moved it from Ephraim's head to Manasseh's head. And Joseph said to his father, "Not this way, Dad, since this one is the firstborn, put your right hand on his head." But his father Jacob refused and said, I know exactly what I'm doing, Joe. He also shall become a people, and he also shall be great. Nevertheless, his younger brother shall be greater than he, and his offspring shall become a multitude of nations. So he blessed them that day. So here's the deal. During this ancient period of culture, they existed under this traditional cultural law of primogeniture. And that just means the firstborn son is the one who gets all the blessing. So if you're second-born, too bad, so sad. You do not get the inheritance. The firstborn son is the son of favor. He's the dad's favorite. So in their culture, and this is still the case in many Semitic cultures, in their culture, the patriarchs, that could be a grandfather or a dad, or in the case of their dad, an uncle, would pray blessing on the firstborn son, and he would lay his right hand on the firstborn son, because the right hand in biblical narrative is the hand of blessing. The right hand is the hand of favor. That's why you'll never read in Scripture that Jesus sits at the left hand of God the Father. It's always the right hand. Even today, I was in Israel right before the fighting broke out. When I'm with my Jewish friends, it would be unthinkable for them to greet me with their left hand. That's dishonorable. The right hand is the hand of honor. So Job comes home from Egypt. He comes to his aging dad who says, I can't believe I get to be reconciled with you and my grandsons. I would like to pray a prayer of blessing. He crosses his arms. And y'all, those of y'all, how many Enneagram 8s do we have in here? I think the Enneagram is a bit of a cult, but it's still a good tool. If you're an Enneagram 8, if you're a type A, if you're a firstborn, I brought a word for you. It's actually a double word. It comes from the Greek. It's called a hapax legomenon. I paid a lot of money for my doctoral classes, so I want to show off and give you 2 words that I remember. Hapax legomenon. It comes from the Greek. It means this was said once. What that means is this, when Abraham crosses his arms, it only happens one time in all of Scripture. This is the only time a blessing was given, and the blesser purposely, intentionally crossed his arms so as to put the right hand on the second son. It's so unthinkable that Joseph himself says, Dad, I knew you had cataracts. I didn't know they were that bad. You're blessing the wrong boy. And Jacob says, boy, I know exactly what I'm doing. I know exactly what I'm doing. I'm blessing your second son. The point God is making in this story is there's no firstborn and secondborns in the family of God. There's no firstborns and secondborns. We are all his favorites. In your family of origin, maybe you were made to feel less than. Maybe you have an orphan spirit because of the love you were desperate for that you didn't receive. From the very beginning of this love story we call the Bible, God is rewriting our history. He's saying, you're firstborn, you're firstborn, you're firstborn. You are all my favorites.
Good Sunday morning.
I don't know where the song says easy like Sunday morning, because it never is.
We didn't do it this before church because we were running late, and I wanted to get my favorite parking spot. Hey, I did. It was only like 2 left, and I got it.
We always do it.
Yeah, I always tell the guy where I want to park. He's directing traffic. I'm like, no, I'm going this way. Anyway, okay, James, what did you learn today? Noah in the ark. What did Noah in the ark do?
Two baby animals. He put 2 baby animals in the ark in a flood.
Uh-huh.
And then after God promised he's going to flood the world again.
Yes. Anything else to add? Okay, Hannah. What did you learn about today? Okay, Hannah does not want to speak today. Apparently she was tired. And that's what they said in class today. I said, did you act okay? And they said, yes, and you're just tired. She didn't want to leave. Okay, Daddy, your turn.
We're all God's favorite.
We're all God's favorite.
Maybe that's why I said you're my favorite.
Maybe that, exactly. Maybe that.
She was everyone's favorite because she truly was everyone's favorite, and everyone was truly her favorite.
Yeah. His aunt just passed away, and everybody was arguing at the funeral. They were saying, she said I was her favorite. Then they were like, no, she told me I was her favorite. But
I think they kind of knew that she always said that, like it was like a funny.
Oh, Joe.
Because they knew, like, they would always say you're my favorite.
Oh.
Say that. Lisa said to me, she was sitting in front, said, yeah, she always said that to me too. And you're my favorite, like, nothing. And she'd always, maybe that, she was very big on scripture. I'm sure she read the Bible many times. And maybe that's why she always had everyone was her favorite.
Brother, can you open her water?
Another message about just getting closer to God.
Okay. So, I am Jesus's or God's favorite. Hurry. And you. Okay, I gotta go. This one's not happy. All right, have a beautiful and blessed day. It's only 96 degrees outside.
I think we're higher than yesterday night.
But no, yesterday was 97, I thought.
Yesterday was 90.
Bye, guys.